Next up, I don't know if you saw last week, but we have James Chiocchio, the comedian, here in studio, here now at Sal's show for you. So stay tuned and watch. You'll start laughing. What happened to my co-host?
Sorry.
Hi, my name is Jamie Chiocchio, and you're watching Sal's show. I like hookers. It's easy to forget that hookers are people too. But I do like hookers. I enjoy having sex with hookers. But sex with hookers can be dangerous, man. So I won't ever have unprotected sex with a hooker. If I decide that I'm gonna go out and buy one, I always bring my gun. 'Cause anytime that you're going out to pick up a stranger for sex, it can be dangerous. You never know what could happen when a stranger gets in your car. But if I anticipate that I might have a woman in my car, then I'll always clean the inside. I never wash the outside though, because sometimes it rains. But having a car is a pain, man. It can be a real hassle, especially when you need to buy gas, because gas is fucking expensive, man. I had a girlfriend, and she would call me, and she would say, hey, you should pick me up. I want to go to the movies. And then I would say, okay, I just need to get gas first. And then before I went to the gas station, I had to stop at the bank to get a loan. And then they would say, okay, sir, what is this loan regarding? And I would say, I need to fill up my gas tank. And they would say, when do you think that you can pay this loan back, sir? And I would say, when I sell my car. And banks are sympathetic. Every time you go into a bank, you always see a basket full of lollipops. And that's their way of saying, we're sorry that you're poor. We understand that you don't have jack shit in your account. So here, have a sucker. And I constantly have to listen to my mother's shit about how low my bank account's balance is. And she's always looking at me in a demonic fashion. And most of the time I'm not under the influence of LSD or psychotropic substances when this occurs. And even when there is money in there, she still doesn't smile. She never smiles. I've seen her teeth once or twice, but her lips were always pulled back and her fangs were exposed. I'm just kidding. I love my mother. She's a very nice lady. My birth name was James, but for an extended period of time during my adolescence, she would frequently refer to me as God damn it. And we are not a deeply religious family, so I just assumed that that was my new name. And then my 4th grade teacher would be taking attendance, and when she got to the end of the class roster and I hadn't raised my hand, she'd say, and what's your name, dear? And I'd say, God damn it, Mrs. Dempsey. So I spent a lot of time at the principal's office. We became about as good of friends as two arch enemies could be. And then I slept a lot. I slept a lot in school. But it wasn't like dozing off. It was like a light sleep. And I would be dreaming, but my brain would still be semi-conscious of everything that was going on around me. Until one day when we were learning about fractions, and my body split into 8s. It was absolutely terrifying. And I don't generally scare very easy. I have very few phobias. However, I am scared of spiders. Fuck it. Anything with 8 legs or more scares the shit out of me. That's too many. Can you imagine having 8 legs? That's a lot of fucking shoes and socks. And when you exercise, you gotta stretch for a long time. I don't exercise that much. I exercise a little bit, but I watch TV more. I like watching The Price is Right because The Price is Right is fantastic. But I want to see somebody on the show with Tourette's syndrome. Then it would be fantastic funny. Bob Barker would be like, hey, Rick, how much can you guess is the cost of the old-time cotton candy machine? And then Rick would be like, whoa, Bob, I'm gonna say $450 fucking dollars! Thank you very much. I'm Jamie Chiocchio. See you next time on Sal Show.
James Chiocchio was
I think
way better this time.
I think he did a fantastic job, just as good as last time.
No, he laid off on the coffee this time because he was
think
so much better.
Yeah.
James, keep it going. You're doing much better every time.
Yeah.
Awesome job. Awesome job. Awesome.
Yeah, James is great. He's pretty funny, and he made it back for a second show, which means he didn't pick up any strange, weird hookers. So he's alive and kicking still. So that was great. What'd you think, Ashley?
I enjoyed it. It was very funny, and if he's still single, call me.
Awesome.
Ashley's
Awesome.
phone number.